We're getting closer to finishing this project. Now, there's one major, very simple change that we can actually do with this here. And instead of having these as blocks, we could have them as circles, which actually looks kind of cool. But in order to do that, we need to actually go make a circle in, let's say, something like Photoshop. So what we have to do is we're going to go and we're going to save this here. We're going to call this purple block. And I'm actually just going to copy the word block. And what that will do is that will save it to the desktop here. So it's a little tedious, but I'll call this blue block, just like that. And this one will be green block. This one will be orange block. This one will be yellow block. And we won't be using these for very long, by the way. And then I believe actually we already have, I'm going to change this to pink block. By the way, I'm pushing F2 here. And I'm going to simply call this purple block. Now that all looks nice here. Now I'm just going to pull up Photoshop. And I'm going to open all of these here. Just open them up. So nothing too fantastic here. Now I'm just going to see how big this is, and I'm going to go to image size, and it's 130 by 130. So I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to make it 130 by 130. Now you're probably wondering, why did I do this? Well, first of all, let me go and resize this accordingly so that you can see everything. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a background here. And I'm also going to select the round marquee tool. Now let's move in, and I'm pushing Alt, by the way, and I'm going to go to the corner. And this might take a couple seconds to actually get correct. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to simply move in here. And I'm going to go and push I to make the eyedropper, and I'm going to hop over here, push G, and I'm going to make that circle here. And I'm going to make 6 more of these here and do the exact same process. Okay, make sure it's still selected, and all we're doing here is we're making the colors the same as we're just making the colors the same as the blocks within the game. And that way, we can simply make that out here. And I'm using G, by the way. G will use the paint bucket tool, and it will be a lot easier. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to just simply do that in here. So now we have all the buttons here. And if we go to 100%, looks like a nice big circle here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these all here. So I'm going to go to File, and actually I'm going to push Alt Control Shift S, and that will bring up the Save for Web, and this will automatically save it. And so I'm going to actually go and save this to each of the blocks here, and I'm just going to go Replace, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing here. And this will save it to a PNG for you, and it will be a lot easier than if you were to, kind of save it manually. So I'm just going to save it in here, and you can see the workflow is actually pretty simple, and it's pretty easy. And using the keyboard commands, they makes efficiency quite nice. And again, any time that you can make your efficiency for your games easier, then I say do it, because it is much better here. Let's hop back into Construct 2, and then let's go and change this up here. So we're just going to do pink block, and all this is going to be is it's going to be the exact same thing, except they're circles now. Now, was this necessary? The answer is that could be up to you. Blocks actually don't work too bad here. It actually works out as a very good aesthetic for both. However, I like the circles because it signifies automatically to the player that you're supposed to be doing something else with this, right? They're not the same things. And the fact that the other ones are rotating are actually pretty good too. So I believe this was yellow. And yeah, so we got one more, and it's simply purple. There we go. And that actually looks pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and let's run it here. And this, I say, looks quite a bit better. I like I like the juxtaposition in between this here. All right. Now, as a side note, and if you want to do this, right? And then there we go, bonus 10. And yeah, I have to say that this is a very simple looking game, but I think it looks pretty awesome. That concludes the tutorial.